97 pieces of coverage in broadcast, radio, TV, was really superb for them. So I think all round the movie was a great success for the business, and it's taken them to another level.
Backyard TV.
Is a PR agency with a difference. So we've gone for the SME market, that's the guys that need the most exposure out there in the marketplace, and we're always looking for the wow factor. So whatever we do, we don't focus on just publicity. We look at content, we look at marketing, we look at branding and positioning, and how do we get those companies out into the marketplace with as little budget as possible. So we want business results. I mean, at the end of the day, if public relations is not driving business results, then why are we in business? The PRISM Award was for the film Hear Me Move, and I was approached by Coal Stove Pictures, referred through a colleague of mine, and I met with the filmmakers, and I was really excited because, first of all, it was a super movie. It was the first of its kind in South Africa and Africa. The whole story of how it was developed, how many years it took them to create this film really resonated with me. They're a relatively unknown filmmaking business. It was their first film, and they had no budget. I said to them, okay, well, let's make this a PR-driven campaign, like truly PR. We incorporate digital and various other aspects of public relations, like promotional type stuff and dance experiences, and let's go back. Let's see what we can do. We know you've got no budget, but let's see what we can do. I'm really honoured for the business and the students that were involved, because a key component of the campaign was bringing in 26 students from UJ as our main resources. And give them experiential training, mentoring and learning as they grew in this. So for us to win Campaign of the Year was massive, because these are not PR professionals that have been in the industry for a long time, but of course they had the backing of PR experts in terms of teaching them, training them, and on-the-job mentoring. Basically what I did is I met with Renee Bierneke from UJ, and we'd been working together on PRISM Consultants chapter on the internship portfolio. She then handled the resourcing side of it. So what she did was just send out a letter to what she believed were the top students, gathered all their CVs, and then it was quite a long process, because for me personally it was important that I had people with the right attitude. It was also important that I fit the skills to the jobs that required, because it's pointless taking someone who doesn't like writing or can't write and get them to write on the campaign. So there was a lot of skills analysis that I had to do. They had to do various projects for me. This was over a 2-3 month period before we even started the campaign. It was just assessing their skills, where they lived, did they have mobile technology, how many hours did they have, and so it was quite a rigorous process in terms of choosing them, and we chose team leaders. So we had 10 team leaders who actually were the main interface between us, the team, and the other UJ students as resources. Because if we were going to try and get a big digital presence, the media exposure we could have handled, okay, but it was the activations, it was getting a digital sort of groundswell going into, we needed resource, we needed a lot of people really on Twitter, on Facebook, on social media, Instagram, every single day. And it had always been my passion to train young people. I believe that they're the future of our industry. And so bringing in students for me was a no-brainer. I'd wanted to do it for years, and I never had a client brave enough to actually say, yes, we'll risk it. But what they didn't understand is these guys represented our target audience. So they were young, they were young sort of black urban students. They got the film, they loved the film, they were passionate about it, and it was just about honing their skills and getting them to a point where they were confident. From a business result perspective, we had set certain objectives, quite a few of them. One of the key ones was for us to create huge awareness in the market so that the audience that we wanted to reach, the consumers, the young moviegoers, would be excited to see the film. The second thing was how do we create credibility around the business so that the business gets internationally recognized and locally recognized. This is one of their first films. They want to create lots more. So from a results perspective, it was phenomenal. The filmmakers have received funding for a further 8 films. And on the back of presentations that we gave post the campaign. The box office did well. It could have done better. We have an issue in this country where distributors take the films off cinemas before traction's reached, which created a bit of disappointment with moviegoers. We saw that in social media. They were saying, we've come to see it, no, it's not in cinemas. So it was a challenge for us. But despite that, the box office sales were great. The DVD sales are still going very, very well. They've achieved 2 awards since then. Obviously, gaining the PR recognition meant they were asked to go to these festivals and enter these particular awards. Other results also, they got an investor in their business, which is super for them, because for them to grow as filmmakers, they need to have sort of funds. So they attracted an investor. The feedback has been fantastic. It is our industry's top award. And just getting that alone has taken my business to another level. At the same time, we've been rebranding. The leads are starting to flow in, which is superb. I think my clients have the comfort that the agency that they're dealing with, although they know I'm good, has been, ratified by an industry award such as this. So that's been phenomenal. People I've worked with over the years have contacted me. It's created new opportunities, which is superb. And so all round for PR Expert, which is where I want to take the business to another level in terms of growing the business, it's a super launch pad for us for the year. So PRISM, it's an industry award that is given every single year. And this year the award was probably the hardest. The judging was the hardest. They had over 50 judges that are the top professionals in their field, in our field. And they had multiple categories, so it was really a tough year to enter, because the measurements, the entries themselves, the work was being scrutinized in a huge way. So an award like this is really top notch if you want to benchmark yourself and say, are you at the top of your industry? Are you making waves? Are you giving the wow factor? PRISM, in a way, gives you that opportunity to be able to say, is the work I'm doing world class? And so that's why I entered, because I believed it was world class. I believed it was a superb campaign, and I wanted to see, was it? And so for me, the awards are essential. I believed in one of the categories we would win, because I did believe that this campaign had all the elements of true public relations as well as the results to back it up. So I didn't believe we'd win Campaign of the Year. Everyone thinks you're a big agency, therefore you produce the best work. It's not the case. Any agency can produce the best work. You can be a PR professional as an individual and produce the best work. It's just how you go about it. It's your thinking, it's your strategy, it's how you implement, how do you change as you go along, how do you remain agile, and how do you measure the results, and how you get what the client wants. Smaller agencies do have a little bit of an edge over a larger agency where there perhaps is levels to go through to get stuff done. I mean, we could literally produce designs in the space of an hour, in the space of half an hour. So in a larger agency, you'd have to brief, it would sit in the queue, and maybe you'd get it 4 days later. We're talking in digital, we need video, we need clips, we need photos, quick. We could do that all ourselves, and when you're small and nimble, you can. And I also think sometimes when you are a smaller agency, you've got the freedom to play and make mistakes. And we made mistakes in this campaign. We were honest in our entries. There were challenges and there were mistakes that we made, but you just pick yourself up and you say, how can we continue to do this work to drive what the client wants? But those big agency entries were fantastic. I mean, the guys won awards, and really to look at their work keeps me striving as a business to say we need to keep producing top-notch work. We don't want to be a once-off.